Patanjali, Mano Buddha Ahankara Cittani Naham Nacha Shotra Jivhe Nacha Ghrana Netri Nacha Vyoma Bhumi Na Tejo Na Vayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham 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 Shivoham. In our last class of the series that we are continuing, why should we meditate? In this meditation course, now after explaining very in details the mind and the condition and all that, what is the benefit of the meditation and why should we meditate? Now we are entering into the yoga aphorisms. Yoga aphorisms of Patanjali. In our last class, we read that first sloka, Atha Yoganu Shashanam. Atha now. Now means from here begins Yoga Anushashanam. Anushasana means discipline. The yoga discipline begins from here. And there, that day, we were explaining that some of the expounder, they are of the opinion that this, by the only word atha, it means, yoga means samadhi. Because in the next aphorisms, we will find that Patanjali is directly approaching to samadhi and nothing less than that. Atha yoga anushashanam. Now anushasana, the discipline, but the discipline means what? It's not maintaining the timing. It's not maintaining some of the laws. It is to maintain, control mind. And who will do it? A person who is trying to control. Whose mind he is going to control? His own mind. So these points we must have to keep in mind, otherwise it will be difficult. We are starting with our mind, and then this mind, which is all the time turbulent, the same mind we are trying to control. And when trying to control, we are trying to maintain a discipline. So that discipline is called Anushasana. And what is that Anushasana? It's a knowledge. And then it's giving the definition. Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. Yoga, and everybody knows it. And they will be repeating it. It's so difficult. Only one, not even a complete sentence, only a few words. Yoga, what is the yoga? Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. Nirodha means control. Chitta means the mind stuff. And Vritti means all the thoughts that is there. That thoughts we have to control. And all the thought means our mind. Here we were explaining that suppose this chitta is whose chitta? The mind. Who are you? Now the scripture, those who are reading the scripture, who are studying the spiritual science, they know that there are two existences out there. One is Paramatma, the God. Another is Jivatma, or the person or the devotee who is trying to reach God. So these are the two things only, God and me. Forget about others, me. I am trying to reach God. Who am I and who is God? These are the two things. If we know, then everything is solved. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Dev, as is his own, very lucidly, very simply, he said, you need not to do anything. Only one thing you try to understand, who am I, who are you, and what is our relation. That's all. As if it is nothing. But who is this Ramakrishna? The son of Khudiram Chattopadhyay. He was born in Kamarpukur. He was born in 1836. We all know. But is this Sri Ramakrishna? No. The more we try to understand him, the more he goes back. It is unfathomable. It's so difficult to understand. Then okay, when we are tired, we sit and look at us. Who are? What is my identity? The name, form, social identity? Nothing. Then who am I? The first sloka that every day we are chanting before this class, that we will reach ultimately. You will see. He is nothing of all this. Atmendriya mano yuktam bhokta ittahu manishinaha. One gentleman, he asked me, am I a self? Yes, you are a self, Atman. If I am a self, then I don't have any attachment. I don't have any desire. Then why should I do all this tapasya, this austerity, this penance, this unselfish work, this control of mind? What is the essential necessary? And that is a very valid question. Everybody's mind is thinking, and that is the very tricky part, very tricky part of Indian philosophy, Hindu philosophy. They say, you are all Amritasya Putra, the children of immortal bliss. Immortality means that Atman. If I am Atman, then I don't have any bondage. If I don't have any bondage, then why should I strive to cut the bondage when there is no bondage at all? This is one part, one question. And second question is a very wonderful question. Suppose after practicing all these things, I reach to that place, that Brahma Jnana, Atma Jnana, self-realization, what I will get? Nothing. After reaching over there, life after life I am striving. After reaching over there, I will see, I am here only. The same me is there. Tada drashtuhu sharupe avasthanam. We were reading in the last class. And that time drashtu, the seer, in his own self is sitting over there. If I am going to discover myself, then what is the fun of doing it? One gentleman came to a writer. He was always that type. Shivaram Chakravarti, the Bengali people will be knowing. So always he used to, not only in his writing, in his behavior also. And one gentleman from the village, he came, he was very simple. Shivaram Chakravarti was taking moody. pasteurized, standing in front of Calcutta University. And this gentleman came and he asked, "Sir, where is Calcutta University?" He said, "Calcutta University? You just continue this road. Where it ends, then take the left turn. Then you will find another left turn, take that. Then another left turn, take that. Then another left turn, take that. Then you will find Calcutta University." And that man, he followed like that. And actually he was circulating that park just in front of the university. After that, when he came, he saw Shivram is still continuing only. He said, "I think I asked you." "Yes. Now this is Calcutta University." If it is that, then why you have turned like this? Because of your question. You are standing just in front of Calcutta University and you are asking, "Where is Calcutta University?" So, this is necessary for you to have this type of exercise, then only you will reach. Similarly, the moment we are asking, "Am I a self? Who am I? Am I a self?" Then you have to practice this. You have to go on rounding left to left to left to left. Then you will find that you are standing there where actually whole self is there. So this is the very peculiar, very systematic, scientific part to those who are not acquainted. For them, very confusion. Very, very confusing. For everyone it is very confusing. Suppose one person has forgotten his identity. He has forgotten who he was. Sometimes Alzheimer or something like that it happens, they forget the identity. Then he is going here and there. Suddenly one good doctor came to know about him and he said, "Oh, I will give you some medicines. Afterwards, you will know who you are." Then doctor begins the treatment. Ultimately, he gets back the memory and what he gets. After recovering from that Alzheimer, is he getting something new? No, it is his own self. Oh, he goes to the mirror and then he stands before it and doctor says, "Now you go to the mirror and you will find who you are." He goes, "This old say every day I was seeing this self only." Then what is the fun of taking so much of medicine and spending so much of money? Because in between, I forgot who I am. So why should you meditate? To find out that I am not this thing, I am something else. What is that something else? That you do not know. Right this moment. This is the two question. Third question comes, who has created us? This is another question. The one person was drowning in the water. And everybody was afraid, but everybody was shouting, "Oh, save him, save him." Suddenly one young fellow jumped and saved him anyway. When he came up on that ship, everybody was clapping, was praising. "You were so courageous, you have saved." Was that afterwards? "First let me know who pushed me." He was not ready to go, but someone pushed him. And then who has actually created us? We will do the tapasya, that is afterwards. We will try to understand myself and the self and all that is afterwards. But who has created? Let me find it out. And when I go to find it out, that is another peculiar thing. Who has created us? There it says very peculiarly, who is the bhokta? Bhokta means enjoyer. Who is the bhokta? Atma, Indriya, Mana, Yuktam. Those who know the Sanskrit. And very simple. Atma, then Indriya, all the senses. Atma means self. All the senses, the Indriyas, attached to it, plus mind. These are three things combined is the bhokta. I am suffering, I am enjoying. Who is this experiencing this combination of three things? What are the three things? Associated with body, sense organs, and the mind. These small things we have to keep in mind. Otherwise, you won't be able to practice meditation. Because some people will straightway go to meditation without knowing how to do and what to do. And when you go for the war, they go the army, when they are going to the war, before that a lot of training. What they should do, how they should do these, because they know. And similarly you will find in this Patanjali Yoga Darshan, same way he will go on telling, at right this moment, what is your position? You don't know how to use the gun. You don't know how to put the guns, all other parts. Suppose something has happened, you must know. And then the place that you are going, what are the things? So here, like this, he is preparing, the Patanjali Rishi, preparing us for a great fight, for a great war. Because in the war, you have to save yourself. Nobody can guide you. And who will guide you? All your experience, all your knowledge. Here he says, the Bhokta. Who is the Bhokta? Atma, the self. Then this body means whole body, mind, and indriyas. This is the three things. This is the Bhokta. Now the real self cannot have all these qualities. The moment we say self, what is that? According to the Vedanta, our goal of life is Atmanam Vidhi. This is a unique word that was uttered nearly 6,000 years before, not now. And according to the present science, it is 10,000 years only our civilization began. They say according to them, 10,000 years before. Then 6,000 years, that means that there is some calculation mistake must be there. Either Vedanta or in the science. But 6,000 years before the first Veda, Rig Veda, when a person goes to another experienced one, the Rishi, so what should I do? What is my duty? Please give me some advice. Then the Rishi says, the only one thing that you have to do, and all other things can wait. What is that? Atma. Yourself, you must know. Know thyself. That is your only duty. After 6,000 years, on the bank of Ganga, another Rishi, not only Rishi, he was God himself, in the form of Sri Ramakrishna, very simple, humble, a gentleman. He said, addressing all the educated people, rich people, he said, all these things that you are doing is nothing. Only one goal you should have in your life. Ishwar Labh, Manushya Jivane Uddeshya. The goal of every human being is only one. Whether you are in America, whether you are in Pakistan, whether you are in India, whether whatever may be the religion, whatever may be the language, whatever it may be. But you must know that God realization is your goal. Why he is telling like this? He is not telling should be, maybe. No, should be, maybe. He is your goal. God realization. Why God realization is the goal? Unless and otherwise we are realizing God, we won't get the peace. So that is the reason the God realization is the goal. And Vedanta say, because we understand God better, some conception about God is there. But in Vedanta they say, Atma, know thyself, Atmanam Vidhi. And who is this Atma, the original Atma, whom we should know? Very peculiar. Now begins the very special way of Vedanta. They say, or Shabda is no sound, it's soundless. Or Sparsha, you cannot touch it. Or Rupa, it is colorless. Or Bhayam, undiminution. It never ends. Then, or Rasam, tasteless. Nityam, eternal. Or Gandha, there is no smell, no odor. Anadya, it has no beginning. Anantam, it is infinite. Mahata, Param, Dhruvam. This Mahata means it, this higher. Mahata Param. Param means higher. This intellect is higher than all other intellect. Realizing that and save yourself from death. Mrittu mukhat pramuchyate. Mrittu mukhat pramuchyate means save yourself from the death. Again we make a mistake. The moment we find that the mrittu mukhat, then we won't die. Oh, people are interested to listen to this. We won't die. And you will find that obviously the great devotees, I am quoting the word great devotees, they will always talk about the master, mentor. Oh, he, 210 years old. Somebody will say 500 years old. Is it possible? It's not. Somebody, you have to take birth and then die. The moment you take the body, you are supposed to die. In something or other, you are going to die. So why this thing? Because mrittu mukha pramuchyate. This thing, the moment one person is a religious person, he won't die. When the Jesus Christ was carrying his own cross, all ordinary people, they were criticizing Jesus. Oh, you cannot save yourself. And you say that you are the Messiah. You are the Savior. You cannot save yourself. Save from what? Save from this body only? This is wrong. So many people used to come to Sri Ramakrishna for different reasons. Some people are there, they came and saw there are other businessmen, then the politicians, then the administrators, rich people. So these people came to Sri Ramakrishna not for Sri Ramakrishna, not for any religion or devotion. They came to develop the contact. So they came and they offered pranam and all this, and then they say, I am also a devotee of this great person, one or two words they will remember, but developing a contact with the other people so that they get the business. So different way the people they come. So this is the reason Sri Ramakrishna used to tell, what happened? I have developed cancer. People said, cancer to you? Cancer means in those days they were not having any idea. Now also, cancer means sure death. People think like that. And all those people, they went away. Sri Ramakrishna was very happy. Now they have gone. Even his own disciple, when Sri Ramakrishna fell down, his hand broke and there was a bandage. His one disciple, he thought, what people will think? A God man cannot save himself. So he started covering with a chadar, with a cover. When the people are coming, he is giving the cover so that people don't see. Sri Ramakrishna won't say anything. But the moment the people there just in front, he will remove and say, you see, I fell over there and broke it. Why? Because if you are thinking that I will save this body, don't come to me. You have to wait a long time. Because you are not at all in the first step of religion. The first step of religion means we have understood what? A shabda, soundless. Asparsha, touchless, colorless, undiminishing, abhayam. Not only that, tatha, arasam, tasteless, nityam, eternal, aganga, bachayat, anadya, beginningless, anantam, infinite. One person was asking me, when I was first born, you people talk about the karma phala. And when I first born, I was not having any karma. Tabula rasa, my slate was clean. Then where from this karma came? Why we take birth, the Hindu says, because of your karma phala. I told friend, this is exactly the question I asked when I joined as a monastic. The very first question when I heard about the karma phala and all this, I asked that Swami, when I was first born, he said, the more you try to pronounce it in a long way, first born, there is no first or second, because it is infinite. That you have to understand, this is infinite. And this is the reason this earth, you will see, this earth is having all the 5 qualities. That is when we are doing the arati, we show the flower to God. This is a symbol of earth. And this earth is having the 5 qualities. What are the 5 qualities? Smell, then taste, then color, then touch and sound. Shabda, gandha, rasa, rupa, sparsha and shabda. Next come water. So in the water, it begins from the number 2. The first is not there. In the water it will be rasa, rupa, sparsha and shabda. Taste, kala, touch and sound. In the fire, it begins from 3. This is only rupa, kala, then touch. But don't try to touch the fire. And then finally it is sound. The ear is having the last 2, touch and sound. But in the space, only the last one is sound. I am talking, you are listening. In between, what is there? Space. And because of that, we are touching. So I wonder, the philosophy, the spiritual philosophy of India, how details they have gone. And then they are telling in the Birodharana Upanishad, they are telling, describing. It is the answer to the question of Gargi. Many of you know the name Gargi. She was a very famous woman, Rishi. And she was asking, the reply is, the knower of Brahman. Who is the knower of Brahman? He knows. The gentleman was asking, why can't you tell about the Brahman? Actually, not only me. No one in this world, even the realized soul, couldn't tell it. It's so difficult. And here you see the answer of the knower of Brahman. Those who have realized the Brahman, what they say? The Brahman is again negative, 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 not these, not these, not these. And 1 or 2, some indication it is like this. Like it is beginningless, is a positive. Like it is, or otherwise mostly, it is only negative. Here also in the Vedanta we find, asthulam is neither coarse, ananam is neither fine. It is not neither short, not long, neither red, redless, neither is this oilless, neither achadanam is shadow or it is darkness, neither air not the ether. The sloka that we are reading all that every day before beginning, because the Creator is like this, then it is not asandam, it is not sticky, It's not having any rasa taste. Or gandham, it has no smell and it has no eye. A chakshu. Or shotram, it has no ear. Or bhaka, it has no organ of speech. Then or mana, it has no mind. Or tejasam, it has also not effulgent. It has no vital force or prana or mukham. It's not a measure, you cannot measure it. And anantaram is without interior. It is without exterior. Ata na asnoti. It never eats. And no one can eat it. Why this way? You will find when a discipline is created, discipline means law. In the Supreme Court judges or in the judgment anywhere, you will find they are trying to cover all these things before making a law. Otherwise, even then we are finding the other paths to go. They are as much as possible they are trying to protect. It is not this, it is not this, it is not this, it is not this. Why? Because they may say, you didn't mention like that, so it may be like this. So this is the way they are telling it is like this. No iti, neti. It is not this, it is not this. But by telling in a negative way, it is a very positive idea it is giving. What is it? What is the very positive idea about the Creator? That it is beyond all this thing. There will be something else. It is not this, it is not this, it is not this. But then what? Beyond all this, after all this, if you cross all these things, there is some existence is there. And that is called aparaksha anubhuti. You cannot get this knowledge from someone. The people, they think that if they are going to a holy person, if it touches, immediately all knowledge will come. This is very, very rare. Very, very rare. Because the both sides should be like that. Otherwise it is impossible. Ascharya Bhakta Kushalasya Labdha. The teacher, he also should be like that, and the receiver also should be like that. We read in our books of holy people, the moment they received the mantra, immediately the whole thing was visualized before him. So one person went to take the mantra, and after the mantra he came and said, but it is just like that, it's nothing happened within me. I told, because you didn't want it, that something should happen. You were not prepared for that, otherwise how can you know? The best teacher of mathematics, will he be able to teach mathematics to a person who has no basic of it? No. A child don't understand him at all. And that is the reason, the basic thing we have to develop, then only we will understand it. Then who is the Creator? This. About whom no one can say. Only you have to understand, and then you will know who is it. The person who was asking me the question, he got furious. If these holy people cannot explain what is it, then why they have written so many books? Why they claim that they are holy people? But I appreciated his eagerness to know. I told, I appreciate your eagerness to know, but don't lose heart. Why? Because when a small child starts beginning writing, someone is holding its hand and writing something, A, B, and the child can't hold the pen properly. And if someone says, oh, the child can't hold the pen properly, How it will be able to write is wrong. At this moment, we are totally confused, as if when everything is negative, it is not, then what is there? And then the answer is, wait for that. You will get the answer when you reach over there. This is not all this, but it is something beyond, something else. What is that? I cannot explain. You will have to understand it yourself. Otherwise, you cannot. How is this place? You cannot explain. So obviously, one lady, she wanted to know the Fullerton Hall, the present name of that hall, the famous hall, where Swami Vivekananda spoke, gave the lecture. It is so important for each and every Indian. Because only one lecture of Swami Vivekananda transformed the psyche of 33 crore Indians. And hundreds of years, they were not knowing, as if in slumber, in deep sleep. Suddenly, as if someone held in two hands and shook it to rise. So each and every Indian, they know the importance of that lecture. But when you go to there, the girls, the ladies, and the receptionist, the ladies who are sitting over there, the one lady was asking, what is there in the hall? So many people are coming and asking, can we see this hall? Of course, very good thing, they don't charge. Only to go and see the hall, they never charge. They think, okay, these people, they don't understand anything. There are so many things displayed. They don't like to go over there to see, to know. They only go over there, see an empty hall, and they will stand like this for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. They are coming out. Let the fools do whatever they. But we are not going to charge them. And we are very happy that nobody is charging, there is no ticket. So we go and again stand over there because the tremendous spiritual power emanated. And what is the spiritual power? Vakya, Shabda, words. What is that words? You have everything. Don't think yourself weak. That's all. I was having that. Here also they say, this Brahman, this Atman, it has created out of his own the whole universe. Why? Sarva ayam Atma Brahma. And this, he is Vijnanamaya, Manomaya. All this time they were telling, no. Now he is telling, yes, why not? If it is not there, where from all this came? There's a very good argument is there. Something cannot be created out of nothing. If there is nothing, some people they will be showing like this and suddenly they will give it like this. Impossible. It can never be. Something is there. Then only they are creating. So that is why Vijnanamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, Chakshumaya, Sotramaya, Prithivimaya, Apomaya, Vayumaya, Akashamaya, like that is going on, telling. He is intellect, he is mind, he is the vital force, he is the eyes, ears, earth, water, air, ether, fire, everything is he. And from it only came. Sarva Karta, Sarva Kama, Sarva Gandha, Sarva Rasha. The moment we are tasting, it is his taste. The smell, it is his smell. Otherwise, we won't be able to. Then what he did? Eka Bashi, Sarva Bhutantaratma. Ekam Rupam Bahuda Yah Karoti. And that one, it's not two. That's why again and again the Islam they say very correctly. The Islam say, La ilaha illallah. There's only one and there is no two. The moment there is two, then philosophically there is a great wrong. The moment we say that there were two, one created all bad things, another created all good things, that two equal existence means dhamsha is going to be destroyed. So all the bad things have come from that one, good things also from that one. Eko vashi sarva bhutantaratma, it has created. Now how can we see? Can we see in the light of the sun and the moon or the star or fire? No. This is a wonderful language they uses in the Upanishad. Natatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidduto bhanti, kutoyam agnihi. With the light, we are going to see God. When we see doing this light, showing the light like this before the God, is it that we are trying to see God with that lamp? Is it possible to see God with that lamp? No. Even the sunlight cannot make it open, we cannot see. And what this? Then how? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in the Gospel. That's why again and again I say the Gospel is the Panchama Veda. Because it explains all the knowledge in a very simple language, the same knowledge. He said there was in the olden days, the station master, he used to carry a lantern. And the lantern, some senior people may remember it, a very wonderful lantern. All the three sides are blocked. Only one side is open. There is a glass. And through that glass, a little light will come. It is not torchlight, it is only something burning inside. And with that light, he will be seeing things. But in the dark, he can see a little thing with that light. But those who are in the side of the light, they cannot see because he is at the back of the light. So when we see, when we hear, when we taste, it is because of the power of the God. That's why every day we have to pray. In the Christian prayer, in the childhood, they teach, oh God, you have given me good food. You have given me the air. You have given me the water. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. Even the Sikhs, they will be doing like that, out of gratefulness. Of course, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna says, you need not to think like that, because he is the creator. He is our father, he is our mother. It is his responsibility to give us food, to give us shelter, give us everything. Why should he not? If he cannot give us those things, then why he has become the parent? The moment you become a father and the mother, it is your moral responsibility, and now it is legal responsibility to take care of your children. So obviously, like this, he is telling that God can. But this God, if you like to see, then Sri Ramakrishna says, you have to pray to him. Oh, sir, I like to see you. Can you please take round the light and put the light on your face so that I can see from the dark? If God wills and he becomes happy in my prayer, then only he will turn. Otherwise, he will simply ignore. Similarly, when we are trying to control our senses, our mind, trying to meditate, it is the same thing. We are only trying in our own way, and in a bhakti way we can say, trying to pray to God, we are sincere. We like to see you. Please turn your light on your face. He may not. You cannot ask question. As because I have closed my nose and practiced the japa and God is supposed to come, it is nothing like that. No condition. Even without that condition, if you try to do, these people who have already realized God, they say, He will surely show Himself to you. Because He is very kind, very generous. And you are nothing but Him. Rabindranath says, yesterday the gentleman who was arguing with me, He was telling, we are suffering and God is enjoying. The same thing, same question one gentleman asked to Sri Ramakrishna. Who has created the universe? God. Then if God has created, then He has created us? Yes. Then why this suffering? Do you think God, after creating us, giving us all this suffering and enjoying? What type of God it is? Many people will ask this question. Answer of Sri Ramakrishna was unique. He said, who are you? And who is actually suffering? Try to understand that. Rabindranath, in his own one poem, he explained this the same way as Sri Ramakrishna. Tomari deva prane, tomari deva dukho, tomari deva mone, tomari anubhav. It is your life. It is you only living as me. Now, it is you who have given me all this problem and suffering. And it is you who is suffering. Why only unnecessary you are putting me in this? You do whatever you like. The moment you think like this, whose suffering is this? God's. In that Sipahi mutiny in India, there was a Hindu sannyasi. So the last part of the Sipahi mutiny, the Hindus and Muslims, they were also clashing each other, fighting with each other. And the few Muslim soldiers came, they found a Hindu monk is meditating. This poor man never knew that there is a fight going on between Hindu and Muslim, and he had nothing to do with that. He was sitting and meditating. These people, they came and stabbed from the back because he was a Hindu. And then Hindu soldiers came afterwards, rescued him. He was taken to the doctor, and they were asking, who has done this? Who stabbed you? Very peculiarly, the man said, now who is carrying me to doctor, he killed. He tried to kill me. They said, what you are telling? If you tell it before the police, then you will be arrested. But he was telling from the viewpoint of the Vedanta. He who gives the life, he gives the suffering, he gives the enjoyment, he gives the death, everything is his. The moment you can disassociate with this, then you are a yogi. Then only you are a yogi. So, he created out of what? He created out of his own self. How Vedanta says, Yatha urnabhi srijate grinnate cha. I am sorry because I am putting so much of Sanskrit sloka. Otherwise, you don't find a support. Because everything has been discussed, researched, and came out with these rishis who spoke in the language of Sanskrit, which has been written, recorded in the Veda, in the Upanishad. So that's why they say, what is the material of this art, of this creation? Not only art, whole creation. Who has created? Brahman. Out of what? Out of himself, out of it. And what is the creation? Yatha urnavit srijate grinnate cha is the giving an analogy, trying to make us understand. Urnavi means the spiders. The spider creating its web out of its own body. It's not bringing something else. Similarly, this whole universe has been created. And after the creation, the God created himself in so many varieties. And to enjoy the game, disassociated itself, and as disassociation came only through one thing, that is ahankara, ego, I consciousness, I. And that is the reason our mind is going round here and there. Friends, now we will begin again. And the condition of the mind is, they are analyzed very carefully. Shipta. It is scattered. Sometimes you will see some people cannot sit in one place. But coming up, going there, doing this, doing that. This shipta is constantly active, active and active. This is shipta condition can never try to control. Then come mudha, darkening. The moment they sit, they will sleep. There's one gentleman I knew, and because I was alone there in an asrama, he was the only company. So I used to take him to any place I am going. So I went to one governor's house in that state. I took him, and he went with the best dress, and he was all active before meeting. The moment we sat before the governor and the conversation began, he started snoring. And it was so difficult to have the conversation and so embarrassing. Then the governor, of course, a very intelligent man and educated too, and devotee. And he said, asked someone, call this gentleman and take him out, give him a cup of tea, and engage him over there giving some books, etc. So he could do. So the moment he sat, he started. So that is the mula, darkening. So that person, this type of mentality cannot make any progress in meditation. Then comes vikshipta. Shipta, mudha, vikshipta. Vikshipta is gathered. Sometimes it is scattered, sometimes it is gathered. That is the condition of all of us. So this is the third stage of mind. So we have to, from the third stage, we have to go to ekagra, concentrated or one point of view. And then finally to concentrated condition, that niruddha. Here, this is the second, this condition we are fixing before us, the goal that we are fixing before us is the concentrated condition of mind. And concentrated condition can be possible when all the thought waves are totally stopped. And when the wave comes, there is a ear. If you look at the pond, if there is no ear, there is no wave, no ripples. It's very calm. And what is this thought wave, the ripples, creating our desire? As the air is there, it is flowing on the water, creating the ripples. Similarly, our desires, sometimes small desire, sometimes big desire, it's going on covering the mind and creating the ripples. So two things. First, we have to control the ripples. And to control the ripples, we have to control the air. That means our desire. Yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. We have understood that definition of yoga. And then, as it is, the speciality of all the Indian scriptures, in the very beginning, they will say the first definition, then the goal. Here also they say the goal, tada, there. Tada means there. What is that? That condition of your mind. What is that condition of your mind? When it is concentrated. When it is totally concentrated. Ekagra. Then what happens? Drashtu. Drashtu means the Shakshi, the one who is constantly observing. And that is what the Jagannatha. Yesterday we went to that temple, Bharat Sevasham temple. There are some devotees, they were doing the Jagannath Puja. The Jagannatha is having no hand, no leg, only two big eyes, and that too without eyelid. Why? He is observing constantly. And in the Arunachal Pradesh, there is a group of people, the tribal people, their god is, two gods are there, Dhani and Polo. The sun and the moon. Why sun and the moon? Because the God constantly observing us. In the daytime through sun, in the night through moon. It's the same condition. See, the tribal people also having so high philosophy. And here the Jagannatha also constantly working. Drashtu, that which observe. Swarupe avasthanam. In his own form, there we have to reach. After reaching over there, we will understand Vritti sarupyam itaratra. And what happens? In the fourth they say Vritti sarupyam itaratra. Swami Vivekananda is explaining, but before we go to that, as we are practicing this question answer, there's another 5 minutes time is there. So I will stop over here. In my next class we will again continue with this, the aphorism. If you have now any question, please ask. Yeah.
Sri Ramakrishna, he said that the Atma Jnana is the end of our goal of our meditation. Sri Ramakrishna first saw Mother Goddess Kali separately from himself, and he had many years he had conversation with Goddess Kali, and he used to say, Ma has said this and that. So how that two is reconciled? I know that he had Brahma Jnana later, but initially he had.
If you read the life of Sri Ramakrishna, you have very correctly came to that. But the incident is, of course, he was the worshipper of a personal goddess, Goddess Kali. But the first vision of Goddess Kali was not the personal, it was impersonal. If you read that particular portion of the experience that has been explained by Sri Ramakrishna himself afterwards, he said, I saw from that Goddess Kali, from that image of the stone image, which is still there in Dakshineshwar, wave after wave, the light came. That light means light of consciousness. Wave after wave, the consciousness, it came, engulfed me, engulfed, covered the whole temple, courtyard, sky, everything was nothing but that consciousness. And there was nothing else. That was the first experience. Then he said, in that condition, I cannot serve, I cannot teach, I cannot talk. Then the mother separated her a little from Sri Ramakrishna, and the order was Bhav Mukhe Thakur. Bhava Mukhe means you are on the threshold of personal God or impersonal God. Sometimes in form, sometimes without form. So that was the experience of Sri Ramakrishna. Yeah.
Modern science doesn't believe in God. But the definition of absolute consciousness is equal to Brahman.
Yeah, absolute consciousness.
They are saying not this, not this.
The modern science, I think last year I read in one place, they are talking about a conscious field. A conscious field, they say, and one, I think, physicist from Pakistan, he got the award for that. This is a conscious field, it is a hypothesis, they couldn't prove it yet. And what is this conscious field? Something must be there somewhere which is conscious, otherwise it is unthinkable to explain the rotation of the what's called all this, I'm sorry, this right this moment is not coming. The atoms, neutron, proton, the way it is rotating, and so disciplined way. Otherwise, if it collide and then burst, everything will be destroyed. But it's not colliding. So there must be someone. It's not an accident. It's not just happening. Something or someone must be there somewhere which is controlling it. It's a very, very highly intellectual. So they say conscious will. Yes, ma'am. Shipta and Vikshipta? No, it is not the same. Shipta and Vikshipta are totally two different things. Shipta means scatter. Also in Indian language we say Khepe geche, Shipta. In Bengali pronunciation it is Kipta. But actual pronunciation in Sanskrit and Hindi they say Shipta. Kai Modanashaya. Shipta means scattered. But Vikshipta, here in this particular context, Vikshipta means it is sometimes turmoil, sometimes gathered. Mind is coming to one place. So this is the difference. Shipta and Vikshipta.
You just said there is some system it doesn't fall apart. Even Einstein said that. And when you find all this, always there's some logic behind it.
Yes. Without logic, it cannot be. Nothing can be an accident. The cause and effect. Everything that is happening, it has a cause behind. The effect that we see, and right that moment we don't find the cause. So we say sometime it is accident. But nothing is accident. There must be a cause somewhere. Then this is the effect is coming. Any other question?
What is Fullerton House? Fullerton Hall?
Oh, Fullerton Hall is an art institute. And downtown Chicago, the present art institute. Previously it was 7,000 people's accommodation. When Swami Vivekananda, he addressed in the opening session 7,000 people. Now afterwards they have made it small. Even the place where the speakers they sat, it was very big, long. And the hall was also very big. In the picture you will find. But at present they have made it very short. But it's good that they have kept it. At least that vibration is there. Those who go, the devotee, they go with that remembering, they get the vibration. 11th November, 11/11, we will go over there. And our program is remembering Vivekananda. Why Vivekananda? Because he actually gave the broad outlook. Help, not fight. Assimilation and not destruction. So that the idea came out from Vivekananda. From that particular dais, the stage and that hall. See, if the humanity, they follow this, they can, each and every one can live happily and all humanity can make progress. So that is our idea, to bring back the ideology of Vivekananda. Yeah.
Is it normal for someone to fall asleep while meditating?
Is it normal for
someone to fall asleep while meditating? If it is not, how to avoid it?
Yeah. It is normal. For in the beginning, it is very normal to fall asleep while trying to meditate. Why? Because meditation means controlling the mind. The moment we are controlling the mind, immediately the first thing that comes, the sleep, nidra. And naturally, we fall asleep. This is nothing wrong. And that's why the doctors also prescribing. Sometimes some people are not having good sleep. And they are prescribing that don't go to bed right the position. You go to bed, sit over there, try to meditate, concentrate. And then you will find that sleep is coming. That's a good medicine. But those who are trying to conquer the mind, then they should not allow the sleep to come. And how to get out of it, we will read how our Patanjali is teaching. It is not actually Hindu scripture. This is a wonderful psychology also, describing the psychology and inspiring all people. If the moment we can control our senses, we are the master. That is. Yes, sir.
What's the meaning of Buddha?
Mood.
Huh?
Mood. The second.
Or Mudha. Acha, Mudha. The second Mudha means darkening. Darkening means can't understand anything. Sometimes our mind is not that, it's dark. It understands any other thing, but not the spiritual thing. Because sometimes when you are talking with a person about a God or spirituality, the higher life or morality, they'll start yawning and then go leave that place. Because they cannot accept that. Why? That is the mental condition is described as Mudha. And in Sanskrit language, I was telling in the Hindu temple, in the Sanskrit language, the filthiest word, because below that they cannot go. To criticize, to use the filthiest word is Mudha. A person who cannot understand even a single thing of higher life, of spirituality, of God, of philosophy, is a Mudha. That is the filthiest word the Sanskrit could use. Below, if you like to, then you have to speak in Hindi. Then, thank you. Then we'll recite the next poem. I think first poem, almost all of us we have understood, and the second poem, and the next from next class onward, we will quote from the third sloka. The second will be in the beginning, third will be in the last. Then after a few days, few classes, third will be beginning, fourth will be like that, we can go. Na cha prana shango na vai pancha vayu na va sapta dhatu na va pancha koshaha Nava pani padam Nacho pastha payu Chidananda rupa Shivoham 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 Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat Sri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu